Okay, so thunderstorms about to come through. I figured it'd be a great time to discuss what is the difference between a permeable patio or walkway and what is traditional, and how do they make the difference, and when should you use one over the other. Okay, stormwater runoff is a big issue for everybody, and there's big movement of trying to keep your rainwater on your property. So basically, most of us, a big house like that has a big roof. Most of us treat rainwater that's coming down onto our roofs as pollution. And so what we do is we kind of get the downspouts as far away from the house as possible. Typically dumps into a patio or walkway. Then from there, that patio walkway, we tilt it towards the driveway, and then the driveway treats towards the road. The problem is, everywhere that rainwater is going, it's picking up anything that spilled in its way. So therefore, we're grabbing any oil or gas that might be in your driveway, and then we're getting into the road, and then it starts picking up anybody's oil or gas or any kind of fertilizers, anything that's spilled in that road, and it keeps picking that up. And then it brings it into our storm system or even into the bay. And so then we're either paying a lot of money to clean up the water to treat it, or it's polluting the bay. So this big movement has been making of how do we keep our stormwater on our property, and that's where these permeable patios and walkways have really been a game changer. But I find also it's a far superior product. So let's take a closer look at what we're talking about and what it means. In here to check out this walkway. This is a traditional walkway that has been here for a long time, and what that means is whenever we're putting in regular walkways, they dig up the area, they compact the heck out of it, then they pack down that soil and everything underneath it, making it rock solid. No water can actually get down there. That might as well be asphalt, because this is just solid concrete blocks sitting on solid ground underneath. So you have to keep that the angle pitching downhill to get that water away from the area so it's not pooling up. When a patio or walkway fails, it's typically from heaving, and what that means is in the wintertime, these pavers can actually lift. And what it is the ground freeze thaw from all that moisture sitting in the dirt. It lifts the pavers. That's when we get cracking. That's when the patios and walkways fail. However, here, this is a permeable patio. Doesn't look much different than this, clearly, other than the fact that we used a different paver. But in these areas, we always had water getting trapped here. They have the foundation of the house right here, basement window right here. Water always came in here and pooled, and this was all brick pavers, and it was unsafe to walk on. We had lots of water that was pooling up near the parka, so we put in a patio that was designed to be permeable. You can see the slight gaps in the pavers. We're basically just not locking it in rock solid, and instead of setting this base on crusher base or road base that we're making it rock solid, we're actually putting some kind of gravel, typically a stone underneath this, and we're piling this up. So we dig a big hole, and then we fill that with all stone. I want the water to penetrate the ground and to go into the ground so it stays here on the property. But in this particular case, I don't want it going near the foundation. I definitely don't want it accumulating there in the window. So what you can do is you actually just excavate extra down here, put extra stone and extra drainage down here. And we've been able to alleviate all the problems in here and make a really cool entranceway garden. So we don't worry about there being extra water features in here. And then this is rock solid, won't drain, but when that water comes in here, it just penetrates all these little cracks and then goes down into the ground and just acts like a big French drain. This keeps all our stormwater on the property. Those downspouts are going down underneath the stone, and we have never had any more heaving. We have no more water getting anywhere near the drainage because you can just pitch all of that away from the foundation. But what you see on the surface is just a traditional paver that just really looks cool, and we've been able to create this nice little patio area, nice sitting area, and no more drainage issues. So this is a traditional installed patio, and this is what is classic of what's happened. Eventually, this is from force heaves. This area here has settled because all winter long, any moisture that's in the base material, freeze thaw, all of a sudden something settles, and then this is what starts to happen. That can become a trip. If a woman's walking through with some heels on, the heel could get caught right in there, and then now it's a tripping hazard. And this is a very mild condition. This was put in by others. We didn't do this, but they did an excellent job with it. Overall, this has lasted quite a few years. This is the first failing point we're seeing, but it's inevitable. This is what we find typically happens at some point. and that can totally be avoided. All right, here's a prime example. You can see the water pooling up, coming down driveways, and then just flowing out towards the bay. You can see on this walkway here, we have no pooling of water. The water hits the pavers, migrates to the edge, and then just dissipates into the ground. No more water issues. No more pooling of water near the foundation of the house. That's the biggest difference. Permeable, whether it's walkways, patios, big French drain. If you're familiar with that is, it's just we're giving the water a place to pool and go, and then slowly penetrate the ground where it should be. Mother Nature is going to filter that water. It's going to repenetrate our groundwater and make sure that that water stays away from our foundations and stays out of our driveways. So much more efficient in the installation. It does have a little bit more of an upfront expense. However, the headaches it takes care of, and there's been walkways that we've gone and the customer just had tremendous amounts of water issues where they just couldn't keep their patios to the walkways because it just kept failing after 2 or 3 years. By just ripping it out and putting it in as a permeable patio walkway, all those issues have gone away, and I've actually never had one fail. Benefits all the way around. I hope that helps, and good luck on your next project.